So let's talk about the first 100 miles, actually 111, in the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, the new Toyota Tacoma. First of all, let's tackle the problems, the things that have come up that other people have posted about or talked about. The driveline problem. I don't have any driveline issue in this truck. Of course, it's two-wheel drive. I don't have that front differential to screw with like the TFL guys broke, so I'm never going to have that problem. Next, what about lights? Problem lights, trouble lights, lights in the gauge cluster. Like, for instance, the check engine light or other failures or faults. And I'm happy to say I don't have any, nor should I have any in the first 111 miles in any new vehicle. But given the pub that you see out there about that kind of stuff, you'd think that every Toyota Tacoma, the new 2024, has problems. It's a piece of junk. I beg to differ. No issues. The biggest problem I have with this truck is how fast I seem to want to go in it. Every time I look down at the speedometer, I'm going over the speed limit. I think it's because of the powertrain, the setup. It just wants to go, which I love, by the way. From a comfort, reliability, quality standpoint, I haven't found anything wrong with this truck so far. I've gone over it. I've looked for paint problems or seam problems, you know, all those little things that could be an issue. Haven't seen anything yet. Very happy about that. I had heard someone mention recently about they had some sort of a paint problem with their Tacoma, like there were swirls and stuff in it. I find that hard to believe. I would blame that on the dealership. You know, when the dealers get these cars in, they're filthy from traveling, and they wash them. And if they're not washing them with care, in other words, not using dirty cloths, and think about it, if you get a shipment in of vehicles, are the guys that are washing them changing the cloths, rinsing out the water, using new water? Probably not. So I would say the swirls that have been reported, and it's only been by one person that I know of, is probably the fault of the dealership, not Toyota and not Toyota's paint. Again, I have to give kudos to Toyota for the way they have this truck set up mechanically. This 8-speed transmission, it's awesome. It's too bad that Toyota waited so long to put it in the Tacoma. It would have been even better had they put it in the third generation, but they didn't. They stuck with the 6-speed, and it was really kind of long in the teeth and a dog. It's great in this truck. Everything melds together seamlessly. I love that. The power itself out of this 4-cylinder turbo, honestly, it's something that I myself worried about. I mean, a 4-cylinder Tacoma, you know, I had driven a couple of 4-cylinder naturally aspirated Tacomas in the past, and I didn't care for them. They were not very powerful. They didn't feel very powerful to me. And I know it's all about your own perception and what you're looking for, but they just didn't feel that great to me, and I was afraid that this new Tacoma would be that way. But I'll tell you, this turbocharged 4-banger is awesome. Way more powerful than the 6-cylinder felt, and that's due to torque. I mean, when you hit the gas, it takes off. I don't really feel any lag. If there is, it's probably very, very slight, and it just wants to go even at speed. And I'm still noticing that even after 100 miles in this new truck. Now, do I have any regrets? We got to talk about that, because I've had third-generation Tacomas, a few different models, for quite a long time now. And I have to say, I don't have any regrets, none whatsoever. The only real thing I think that I even noticed that I missed, or I was missing, was the power adjustable seat. But you know, in hindsight, since I'm the only one that drives this truck, I set the seat where I want it, and I'm never going to touch it again probably, unless I need to make a minor adjustment, or maybe I'm working on something down there and I need to move the seat. But otherwise, I'm not going to do that. And there's even a benefit to it, to not having it, that is. You know, I remember putting the pedal commander in my other truck, which is an awesome device, by the way. If you've got a 3rd gen, you need the pedal commander. Throttle lag is a killer in the 3rd gen Tacoma. But laying underneath there in the footwell, hooking that up right above the pedal, the gas accelerator pedal, I would always lean on the seat controls. I'd go to get in the truck, you know, to go out and do the test drive afterwards, and the seat would be like all the way back. That was kind of a bummer, and it's one of the things that I won't miss in not having the power adjustable seats. I prefer the manuals in that case. You just don't have that issue. Appearance wise, obviously this truck is different. It's a different look. It's an upgraded look, in my opinion. I think Toyota really did do a good job, and I love the way they have the scoop, even though it's non-functional, in the sport version, which, if I didn't tell you or you didn't know, this is the 2024 TRD Sport, by the way. I love the way that they've got this integrated into the hood. It's a bigger platform or footprint area than what they had before, and it just looks more like it should be there. Now, let me preface that by saying I've always been a fan of the hood scoops in the sports anyway. There were a few times where I really thought about switching out the hoods in the TRD off-road to the sport. I never did do it, but I really did like those. This is even better. It's more integrated into the hood. It's kind of a, I think, a little bit, it appears, flatter profile than what we had before, and I really love the look of it. It just gives the truck a, I think, a sportier, hence the TRD Sport, right? Tough look to it. It's awesome. Now, as far as the controls and everything in here, there is one negative, and I guess that is I don't know how anything works. I mean, I can turn the volume up on the radio because it has a button. Thank goodness they didn't get rid of the button. But otherwise, it's a learning curve. You're gonna have to go back, maybe whip out the manual, or preferably watch some YouTube videos and figure out how to actually use all of the tech that we have in this truck. You know, I'm still trying to figure out the gauge cluster. I have this adaptive cruise mode that's been on ever since I got the truck, and I don't know if it can be eliminated or if it's just part of the system and it's always going to be on, but I haven't figured out a way to turn it off yet. I don't want it on. But if anybody out there, by the way, knows how to do that, leave a comment down below. If you've got the 4th gen Tacoma and you figured out how to turn that adaptive cruise mode off, let me know. I'd love to know how to do it. So overall, no regrets. I think this truck is by far better than the 3rd gen. I still think that even after 111 miles, actually 117 now, and I'm not dogging the 3rd gen. I love the 3rd gen Tacoma. It's an awesome truck. Nothing wrong with it. This one is just simply a step forward. It's better, in my opinion. Leave a comment. Let me know. If you've got the 4th gen, do you think it's better than the 3rd gen? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.